Let's talk a little bit about moldings. You know, I think that they are a beautiful addition. If you don't have a home that has the original moldings, you can always add them. Absolutely. And maybe add them in ways that you don't necessarily expect.
Absolutely, and you can see how when we did the paneling in the kitchen, it really it was a continuation of the cabinetry profile. So it just made that kitchen feel like it was going on and on and on, and very huge and expansive. So it's a really nice trick as well, and it does add a lot of nice architectural detailing to a home. Okay. So I'm going to show you some ways that you can update the look of your home with applied moldings without necessarily having to rip everything out and start from scratch. So there's some really easy tips that you can do. So I'm going to get you to actually hand me that one. Perfect.
Let's start with this one.
So these are samples of door casing or door trim. And the thing with door casing is people nowadays like them to be a little bit chunkier than you used to see. So I go into a lot of homes to start renovations, and we have a very small profile door casing. So one of the things I suggest is rather than ripping those door casings out throughout the whole house, because you do want the profiles to match and be consistent throughout the house, you can just update your existing profile so it looks a little bit chunkier and a little bit more updated without having to start from scratch. So I'll just get you to hand me that next piece.
So you're just going to thicken it up.
Absolutely.
Make it look a lot bigger than it is.
Right, so this is a little bit thicker of a profile. This is a smaller profile, and you can see just by adding this back band, which is notched out, so this is made to go behind a door casing, you can see how it really does improve the look of it and gives it a lot more architectural detail and chunkiness to the door casing.
Right.
And you can put that on your doors and windows. So I'll take these off and give these to you. Now, baseboards also are a tricky thing to work with if you want to get a better look, but you don't want to take out all of your existing baseboards. So,
and people are going really high with their baseboards now.
Absolutely.
I love it. You know, like really, really high.
Absolutely.
A lot of height.
So this is, again, a shorter profile baseboard. So you want to get that more architectural look and really sort of make those a focal point in the home. So the first thing you want to do is, traditionally we used to see quarter round on the baseboard. So you want to take off that quarter round. I'll give that to you. And we put on what's called a shoe mold. So this is actually very similar to what a doorstop would be. Sometimes you can even use the same profile as a doorstop. And that shoe mold just continues the profile of the baseboard. So again, it looks a little bit more architectural and keeping in the design of the baseboard, so you don't have all of a sudden this totally different shape of quarter round. And that is necessary to hide the gap between the wood floor or the tile floor in your baseboard. So you do need something there, but that's a nice, more clean line profile to use.
Are people getting rid of their quarter rounds from everywhere in their house?
If you're going to do it in one room, you're going to want to do it everywhere. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
so
and how about this piece here?
Now this is, again, another little applied molding. So if you do have a very low height baseboard and you're looking to give the illusion that you have a much higher baseboard, but you don't want to remove your baseboards, you can add a piece of trim just about 2 or 3 inches above.
And paint.
Right, so you paint the trim, the drywall in between, and the baseboard all in the same tone. So now it gives the illusion that your baseboard's much higher.
That's lovely. That's a great idea.
Very easy little trick.
I think we want to talk a little bit about paneling now, right?
Right.
So and that's something that your kitchen had in droves, and it was beautiful.
Absolutely.
Just repeated all throughout the wall.
Absolutely. So again, here's a little trick that you can do without having to remove baseboard. It depends on the type of paneling that you do. Sometimes you do have to remove the baseboard as part of that paneling. With just applying almost like a picture trim, you don't have to touch the baseboard. You can leave what you have, and again, you can either paint this all out the same color, or you can leave it as a contrast color and add some interest. Now, paneling can be done on a full height wall, or you can do it almost more like wainscoting. And if you're doing wainscoting, then we would add a picture rail to the top. And that's what this is. So again, a nice chunky profile. So you want to give
no chair rails.
No chair, or actually this is a chair rail as well.
But it's a thick one.
It's a thick one, and you would use the same thing for a picture rail. So a chair rail and a picture rail, you can use the same profile. A picture rail would just be mounted up higher on the wall. So typically anywhere from 12 to 20 inches below the ceiling height.
Got it.
Whereas a chair rail is more between 32 to 42 inches off the floor.
Okay.
So now you can see you can paint this all out. So now you have almost like a wainscoting happening here, and paint that all out if you like, or again have some accent colors for interest. So now we get to, if you are applying strips to the wall, I'll just actually get you to hand me the other one as well.
This one?
Perfect. You can see how, if you're paneling applied strips, you can see how this is going to overhang the baseboard, and that's not going to work at all. So if you're doing paneling like this, which is what you saw in the kitchen, that paneled wall, what you would need to do is remove your baseboard. So we'll take this off, and I'll get you to just stick that one on if you don't mind. Oh, perfect.
So you need something that's going to be the same length of that board that you're going to be putting there.
The same depth, exactly.
The same depth.
Right. Now you apply your molding on. You would put your baseboard profile right on top of this applied piece.
There you
Perfect.
go.
I'll put that back up, and I'll actually get you to pass me that baseboard right there. Yeah, perfect.
There you go.
Perfect.
We are creating a whole new room here, people. Live on television.
We are. So you can see now the baseboard
so you
profile.
put it over top.
Exactly. So you'll have the same profile of baseboard everywhere throughout the house.
Yeah.
You leave a little bit showing so that it ties into the paneling.
Right.
Now you put your panel across, and then we top that off again with a chair rail. And so I'll get you to hand me that very last piece. Perfect.
There you go.
Thanks. And this chair rail again is notched out, so it's meant to sit on top of this.
Yeah.
And now you can see you could do this as chair rail height or picture
cool.
rail height. Right.
I just think that this adds so much to a home. When I walk into a home and there's paneling everywhere.
Oh, it's
not
gorgeous.
the 1970s paneling, but you know, the paneling we do now, I just think it's so beautiful. It looks so done. So good job.
Custom.
Good lesson. Let's go to break. We've got more coming up. That's very